All right, and we are live, and welcome everybody to the Discover Possibility series, where I like to provide you perspective to show you what is possible. And today's special guest is somebody that I came across on Instagram. I was truly inspired about what she was doing, about how she was essentially bringing her passion into discovering people who are helping people help people, essentially, right? So ultimately, she's a coach, she's a host. I would like to introduce everybody to Angela Vasquez.
Hi.
How's it going, Angela?
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's so nice to be here with you, Marcus.
Yes, definitely. It was nice. I was trying to actually get you on before you beat me to the punch. Angela beat me to the punch to interview. To see who got to get interviewed first, and she did. And so now it's my turn. So being said, how I like to start this series out is I like to ask you, Angela, who is Angela Vasquez?
Oh, wow. Thanks for asking. I'm still discovering who that is. I'm still, and I am still discovering who I am. And it's been interesting over especially the last few years, really discovering like who I truly am. And the more I am intentional about that, the more I like what I see. I like what I've learned. I like how I'm applying it. I like the people that I'm meeting along the way. And I'm finally coming to a place in my life where I feel good about who I am. And so yeah, I'm somebody that I love my children. I have children. I have, I have a life that is so full. I'm so grateful. I'm so blessed. I'm always so blessed in every area of my life. And I'm so thankful for it every day. I never want to take one day for granted. Anything that I have has been given to me out of a blessing, and I'm very grateful for that and very aware of that. So I just, one day at a time for me, really, one moment at a time.
Yeah, definitely. You can definitely see your passion, especially on your IG lives. Now, where did that whole idea and thought come to fruition, where you wanted to start IG lives and start seeking other people that are looking to help other people?
Well, I've always had just a natural desire to help people. I think most of us do. I've always been I'm a natural encourager. That comes very natural to me. So becoming a coach or a life coach was something that just felt right for me. And I'm still building that. I'm still in the process of building a business around life coaching and things like that. But the whole IG Live came about because I love Instagram. I loved just, that was just a platform that I really enjoyed. And then when they came out with the IG Lives, I was very curious about how that worked, but also it sort of spoke to me, my passion of learning about people and also just reaching and trying to understand, what holds them back. And so I was following someone, and she's a digital marketer, and I didn't know what that is. I still, what is that really? But I asked her, she was posting some things on her Instagram posts about lives and things. And I thought, wow, I would really like to do that. I'm curious about that. And she inspires me with her posts, and so many other people do too. Maybe she can come on to a live and share about her passion, because that's her passion and what she's doing. And she can share about that, and we can have our own live, and I can ask her questions about it. And so it was my way of coaching her, more so just discovering, not even coaching so much, but more just discovering who she is and where that passion came from for her. And then at the same time, having that experience of what a real live would be like. And so we did. So she formatted it, and then we did that. And it was interesting how by doing that, it made me realize, wait a minute, while it was very different, right? Because coaching face to face, you get to sit down and you ask a lot. I mean, it was just a very different format, but to me, it still spoke to me as a coach. So I could, understand who this person is and get to know her a little bit better. And also she had an opportunity to share what she loves to do and talk about that and get to know the person behind the passion of what she's doing. So, and it just started evolving from that. And it just speaks to my heart to be able to meet people. And I love that so much. And then hear about what they do, why they do it, but more importantly, just to get to meet that person and hear about them and make a new friend and find out what is the drive behind what they're doing. And so that's really where that came from.
Yeah, I love that. That's like what I like to do with Discover Ignite is figure out what ignites that change in people to make a change in their life. Now, did you have any kind of fear starting the lives or anything like that? It seems like your passion for everything just kind of overtook any kind of fear that you had.
Yes, I do believe that is exactly right. You're right. When you have people in general, human beings, when there's a fire inside of you, you can't help but to just do it at that draw. If you're being pushed or if you have to be pushed in to do something, you may need a little encouragement, which is good. But I do think that usually that's why I love coaching. And what I do is that I love to really just, remind people that, hey, that spark that is inside of you, that's real. That's a real thing that's going on inside of you. And it's there for a reason. That's not just your heart isn't just hurting or burning. It's really there. It's not heartburn, right? But it's really happening. And there's something in there that's trying to tell you something about what you need to do. And so yes, lots of fear for starting out. But I have learned, over the years that you have to do it anyway, no matter how much fear you might feel. You just have to start. And once you start, you'll stop and then you'll start again. And many times I went into the live before I went live and it was click and on and sat there and off and on and on. I still do it. Every, many times during the week, I'll go live and then I'll have to come out and start all over again. And that's okay. And I've given myself permission to say, you know what? It's all right. It's going to happen. You're a human being and things are not always going to feel right. But just go do it again. Go give it just go back to it. Don't give up. And it's okay. It's okay to come sort of fall back, but it's not okay to stay there. Especially with that fire that's inside of you. It won't allow you. And I think what I love to do is just, to really encourage people, hey, listen to what's going on inside of you, because we need to hear what's going on inside of you. Your voice, your gift, your talent, your special uniqueness is what the world needs to hear. And so that's the kind of coaching that I like to do, is to encourage them to get that out of them.
That's beautifully put. And actually that leads me into my next question perfectly. So you set that up perfectly for me, Angela, because I wanted to ask you where you stood on essentially following your intuition.
Where I stood on following my intuition?
Or where you stand, I should say.
Well, yeah, no. So I got to really kind of think about that. Where I stand on, I think I'm. Where do I stand on following my intuition? I'm a very intuitive person, right? That's the same thing, right? And so I believe I am very intuitive. I haven't really thought about that so much, but I believe that my intuition is it leads me a lot. Like, I guess if that's even a thing.
Do you feel like you're being led by your heart more, or that gut feeling, or do you feel like you sit there and you ponder and you think about stuff logically, are you just guided by how you feel ultimately?
Yeah, I wish I had more logic. I would do anything to have more logic. Oh, wow. Yeah, there's a gap there. Yeah, I'm very driven by my heart. I wear my heart, my probably, yes, I'm very heart driven. I think I've learned over the years that try to get, it's important to get the head knowledge and the heart to connect, right? And
Mhm.
so I think I try to do that. But yeah, I do. I've really thought about how I'm led. I mean, I'm a Christian, like I love the Lord. And so my faith is very important to me. And so that is where I start, is just asking God, for direction. And while sometimes it feels like, okay, are you, what are you saying? I know that I can't not do something if it's really bubbling inside of me, because I've discovered that it's a real thing that's going on in there and people need help, right? I mean, that's ultimately, it's funny that you said I'm a people helper, because on my LinkedIn account, originally, when I first started on LinkedIn, and, what was I doing on LinkedIn? I don't have a college degree. I don't have, there's so many things that I discount myself for, but I want to be there because I want to find people that I can help and learn from. And so when I initially signed up for LinkedIn, that was my thing, a people helper looking to help people. Like that's what I labeled myself, as a people helper. And that's all I want to do, is help people. There's so many people out there that could, benefit from not just what I have to say, but what they have to say and how they can help others. And that's the point, right? It's not about what I can give. It's about what I can share and how I can support and how I can offer and lend and listen and learn, so that I can help others live out their dream and live out the life that they envision. Or yeah, we really need to all be more people helpers. And I was even thinking about that, how are we really truly helping? I've realized too in the last, couple of years that, there's a lot of people that are out there that are really helping. But there's a lot of people out there that really maybe that aren't helping too. And so I think that that's something I'm realizing as I continue to help. Is like, I want to be of great value. I want to have a great impact, and not in a way that's just a surface level impact. I want to really help deeply and help people, and they don't ever have to thank me or, remember that. I just want to really help get them started so they don't stop. And so they start messy. So they just, believe enough in themselves and they have to do the believing, right? But just, I want to be a part of that initial, start for people to really just get them moving. Yeah. And then, and watch that sort of unfold. Yeah. So that's what I want to do. Yeah. And if my intuition is helping with that, then that's good.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, you can see the passion, like I said, in your IG lives and everything, and getting all the so many people on your IG live and sharing their stories. You can see the passion that you hold when you are hosting the IG live. Now, I've watched some of your previous videos, and you had a lot of adversity over the past year. How have you been able to kind of overcome that and continue to do all this and build a business off of this?
Yes, there has been. There's been a lot. Yeah, last year we know was just the year itself. But one of the things that my fiance has said that I love is, we can't allow last year to define who we are and what we're going to do, and we can't let that determine us. And so he says it so much more articulate and amazing than I do, but it's so true, right? It's like that last year was, it was something that we've never, ever experienced in the whole entire world. but there were a lot of really great things that occurred too last year for me that I never want to take for granted. Yes, in the very beginning of the year, I was started out in January, my mom being diagnosed with leukemia, and then my daughter found out she was pregnant. She's very young, and so, well, she's 21, and so, and then. And then there were things, then our dog pulled his ACL or whatever the little bone is in his leg. And so it was just one thing after another through the pandemic. And, and then my mom it was just so hard because she lives in another state. And so, not being able to see her with the pandemic was really difficult. And she's doing great now. Like, she's doing amazing. She just has she has 9 lives. I mean, this woman is unreal. And so I love my mom. And so there was a lot of things. But then the birth of my grandson in September, during all of the last year, and just experiencing that. And there's a lot of things, that we all, I think, as the world, we've had to just sort of reset, our mind and think about, how do we get through this? We're all trying to do things. We all have to do things differently now. And, but we all did it together. I think we're all doing this together. For me, I'm still in process, right? I'm still learning. I'm still growing. I'm still trying to figure this out. I'm always looking to be better. And how can I be better? How can I add more? How can I do more? And that is something I'm actually learning right now to I love your reframing. I love some of the things that I'm learning from you. And just, what does that really mean for me? And how can I sit in silence? And how can I really be mindful about what I'm thinking? Who would I be if I were, truly confident? And, all these, different things that I've really been thinking about and really wanting to step into, and not being fearful of really sitting down with myself and doing the work, because I have a tendency to scroll. Oh, that's awesome. This is great. Oh, I love that. Oh, I can do that. I'll do that. Or and then, I find myself, 3 days later, not applying anything that I've looked at or learned. It's just been all information. And so really taking the time to say, you know what, I'm worth the investment in really sitting down and really taking the time to really just evaluate where I've been, where I am, and where I'm going. And, really just, because it's easy for me to say, oh, you share it and to do this with other people. Oh, try this or do this, but for myself, I have, I'm on the go. I have so much energy all the time, but I think that's something that I'm using as an excuse sometimes too. Mm-hmm. So I'm really just sort of checking myself right now. Okay, really what's really, what's really positive and good and healthy for you, and what really isn't. And that's sort of where I am today.
Yeah, I've always found, and that's primarily one of the first things I teach is that it always self first, right? Make sure the foundation is built solid. That way you can build up from that point. But I have a couple closing questions that I'd like to get your opinion on. I kind of like to throw them out of left field to see how you react to them. But the first one being is, what do you think holds people back from igniting change in their life?
I can only share how it's held me back. For me, there's lots of things. One can be, I can just share for myself. Not feeling like I belong in certain places. Not feeling that I have, enough education, not feeling like I know enough, not believing in myself enough that I'm worthy. I'm still figuring that out. I'm still trying to figure out, hey, you do belong here. You are here. You are worthy because you are here. And I'm still, that self-talk is still, I'm still working on that. But what holds us back is is that, you know, I think it's multifaceted for me. There's a lot of things that have held me back. And I think it's really just, you know, taking the time to be okay with who you are right now. I know one of the things that I have struggled with in the past is just, you know, like running. I know that you run. I mean, I think for me, something that helped me was realizing that I'm not a runner. And as much as I would like to say that I'm a runner, and I would like to, you know, say I have the body as a runner and all this stuff, and I had to finally come to the real, be real with myself and say, you know what, you're not a runner, but if you want to be a runner, you need to run. And if you want what you want, you got to do something different. So you have to be real and honest with yourself about where you are. And if you really want it, you got to get serious. And I think a lot of times we're just so passive in our own thoughts. You know I have been, and just really sitting yourself down and saying, okay, what do you really want? What is it really going to take for you to get there? And just being honest about who you really are. A lot of people say you're getting your own way, and I guess that's true. I don't know. I don't want to be like a cliche or anything, but I think I've been told that my whole life. You're in your own way, or you know, you just have to believe in yourself more, and you know that is true. But at the same time, you just can't tell somebody they need to believe in themselves more. There's a lot of things that occur for someone to start believing in themselves. And that's why, for me, the whole superhuman reminder thing, I'm trying to be more mindful about what has helped me, and learning, obviously, but listening is a big one. Learning how to do, learning and listening is a big deal. You know, we're told our whole life, what to do, right? But we weren't really ever taught how to do things. And listening is one of them. And I think that it's not just listening to others, but it's listening to yourself. We weren't really taught how to listen. Nobody ever said, are you listening to the words you're saying right now? It's, and that's that whole like thought process of, are you really thinking about what you're thinking about? Because what you're thinking is really important to your life and the people around you, and how you're living your life and the quality of life that you're going to have. And so it's multifaceted for me. So that's, than's for asking.
No, I love that. I mean, I think a lot of people, and I talk about, you're in constant creation, so you can't think that you're one way or the other, right? Because you can make it either way. And I try to, it's like Bruce Lee says, right? Like to be like the water, and being able to go over the rocks and stuff and be adjustable in life, and not be fixed as this is who you are, and put yourself in a box. Like you said, getting your own way sometimes. But I love that answer. That's a fantastic answer. My next question for you is, what is the worst advice you've ever received?
I probably have given myself the worst advice. Oh boy. The worst advice.
What is that one thing that's like really hung you up, that you feel like, well, if I would have just done it, I could have made perhaps great strides in my life, but someone told me not to do it?
I've always been sort of rebellious. So if somebody tells me to do something, I'm like, oh, that gives me a reason to go do it, So I like challenges. I like to be told, I like to be told you can't do that, because I will try my darnest to do just the opposite. But I mean, I've had people say, you will never get anywhere without a degree. And I think that's, that's heart-wrenching, to hear. Because especially, there's so many people that don't have degrees that are doing amazing, amazing things. We put so much emphasis on that. And I do see the value in that. And I think it's super important. And one day I'll have my college degree. But it's that was a moment in my life where I think that was hard. That's difficult to hear, especially from someone you admire and respect. And because you then realize that that person doesn't see you. They don't see you. They only see you as, something that you're not. And so you've got to be really, really careful about who you're listening to for advice and encouragement. That's why it's really important to surround yourself with people, good books, good mentors, a real good coach, or just human beings that you can surround yourself with that have your best interest in mind, and they're not interested in their outcome and what they're going to get out of you being in their life. You have to really find people that really encourage you so much that the value that's already inside of you, you're already worth it. You have it. It's there. That you just start living it. Like you just start living it. And so I'm excited for the people that are still out there that don't understand their worth, that don't see the value in themselves, because I think more and more people are coming out to share real good stuff that do have a real interest in people that want to start. And I believe there's a lot of really good stuff out there, but there's a lot of stuff out there that isn't too. So I hope that answers the question.
It does. It definitely does. And you clarified that very well. I think there is both sides, and you do have to kind of filter that stuff, determine what essentially best fits to your life, right?
Yeah, I was going to say that it's, you can, not every coach is going to be the ideal match for you. I mean, I was in therapy for a lot of years, counseling with our marriage counseling. We tried a bunch of different counselors, and it's just, you have to find the right match for you. Don't feel like you are, you can always make the decision to step away from something. You can always make the decision to do something different, find somebody that truly speaks to you. And oftentimes, especially when we're struggling with confidence, or we're struggling with even knowing that I can make a decision, like I can actually decide this. I have the power to actually choose. I mean, so oftentimes we don't even know that we have a choice, because again, we were told, this is what you do, this is what you do, this is where you go, this is what you read, this is who you talk. I mean, we've been told our whole life what to do. We have not really been given opportunities to think for ourselves. And so, I mean, that's the traditional education too, is just do this, do that. I mean, I think it's changing now, fortunately, but I think it's really important to understand what you're thinking and surround yourself with people that have your best interest at heart.
Yes, I definitely agree with that and love that. My last question I have for you, Angela, is what is the one thing you want people to take away from this interview?
Thank you so much. I want people to listen. This is so important for you to hear this today. Okay, so if you're listening to this, I really want you to know that you are just an amazing, beautiful, warm, kind-hearted, genuine human being, and that you are valuable just where you are today. And I'm not going to be able, I could sit and I could just, say all these affirmations to you, but it's up to you to start saying and believing in yourself. And I want people to understand that you're flawed, and so am I. And we're all flawed. We're all imperfect. We're just human beings. We're just living life, right? And not to compare yourself with other people, to just be true to who you are deep down inside of your heart. That thing that's going on inside of you, I know you can identify that. You feel it right now. So what that is something very, very special. That is you. And so whatever you're dealing with, whatever your circumstances are around you right now, it's okay. It's all right. Everything is going to be okay. Just take a one step in the direction of your heart. Take a direction toward that thing that's drawing you out. Reach out to somebody that can really help you explore that and discover who you are inside of you. Even if one little step forward, one little movement will help you build momentum. It'll help you build competence and confidence, and you will discover so many amazing things about yourself that the world needs to hear. So don't give up, keep going, keep moving in the direction that you're going, and just start. And and just keep being you, because you're very special and unique, and the world needs you. We need to hear from you. So that's what I would say.
That's a great way to leave this off. Now, where can anybody reach out to you, Angela, if they want to get a hold of you?
I am on Instagram. IG Live with Angela. I'm there daily, Monday through Friday, 1:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm there every day. That's my home.
Fantastic. And thank you, Angela, for coming on and sharing your story.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for listening. And until next time, I will see you guys later.